Hey, it's HP Munchcraft, coming back for some more Mechabellum. This time, it's not like an instructional, it's just a replay that some funny things happened in with 2v2s, myself and Johnny over here. Don't have a script, so if it's rough, it's rough. I am a quick supply specialist. Johnny is a cost control specialist. We are up against Lynch, who's a giant, and General Copj, who is aerial. So let's get this party started. By the way, this is MMR. Currently 2v2 MMR. Me and Johnny are somewhere in the 1400s range. Our opponents this match are in the 1700s range, so we're not just picking on noobs with this one or anything. Though definitely falls into the HP shows his wins, not his losses category, because, yeah, spoilers. I might cut that out. Anyway, I looked at the deployments, and what I'm doing here is I've just slapped on wasps. The enemy's basic disposition counters my basic disposition, and I'm quick supply it, so I might as well throw a wrench in his works for a couple of rounds because I think my disposition is more valuable long term. Johnny has gone with developing his chaff. He's saved 100 ducats, it looks like, but at the expense that his opponent has a much stronger position than him on the first round. This is actually very justifiable in the light of what I'm doing, because if your ally is quick supply, then you can get away with setting up for the late game because your ally will have that turn one advantage. That's one of the many reasons why quick supply is a good build to start with. As you can see, Johnny's dead. Cost control without going his full supply limit is definitely made him weak on that side. However, his opponent has not developed any chaff. And we went really heavy mid. I know the wasps went around the flank, but we went really heavy mid this round, and that is a strong start. As you see, we knocked them out piecemeal. Did a little bit of damage, not much. Not great for a quick supply, but given the context, it's pretty good. We're going to hide this. We take Sabertooths. The opponents take Wraiths, presumably to counter our fighters and Wraith on the flank. I go ahead and just counter the Stormcallers immediately off. I think the enemy not taking Sabertooths was a bit of a throw. It's unfortunate that they are the only like early good Stormcaller counter. But they clearly took Wraiths just to counter my fighters, as well as providing us with a hard problem to counter. But I have that singleton sniper who's going to do tremendous work this game. That's what I use my unit pick on, was that off to the right, I'll take a flank cam. The enemy did deploy a Wraith, so I'm going to have to pay a lot more attention to that flank going forwards, but as you can see, when they towered me, it didn't lose us the fight mid. Johnny's mid keeps pushing and knocking it out, and then my mid recovers from that by the time his forces get there from the flank. It's one of the reasons why mid is stronger than the flank in 2v2s. So we're going to, I think we lose this sniper here. Johnny demolishes his side with damage from the Sabertooths on the enemy heavy units. The enemy has not developed chaff on Johnny's side, so that is a pretty big throw there. But we are going to eventually, I believe, we prevail in this round by just the skin of our teeth, by some fangs. But as you can see, the actual, like, they both went into Wraiths, and the actual victory is, like, we win narrowly, but we have a lot of these units that are sitting here absorbing damage, so their actual position is a lot weaker than the ending round pressure is. Nevertheless, that means we're not really pressuring the right people. So just to show you, there's that Wraith on the side. We go both supplies. Johnny's opponent skips supplies, which I think is a big throw. in this round. But I keep my main force center, but I do move more on the flanks this round to counter that flank. However, my opponent does further develop that flank. Johnny actually just keeps on developing his position. Goes into Stormcallers because there's no Sabertooth out to counter. They could have taken Sabertooth, and they decided not. His opponent is finally getting some chaff. But we're just going to keep on pushing mid and killing it. And the flank, I believe I still lose this flank. However, it is not that bad of a loss, and we're going to be well and truly through mid by the time anything comes through. Yeah, I think I kill everything on the flank, and then crawlers come in and wipe out my defense force. So, just another one. Just want you to note how much damage this one single marksman in mid is racking up. You can get away with a very few marksmen doing a lot of damage if they get to shoot at the right targets and blink away all game. That's kind of crazy. Just clean up here. So our opponents put themselves ahead, though not as ahead as Quick Supply put me this round by skipping. I think that's a major mistake, though, as this game right now, it's not going to go long, but it looks like it's going to go long. So, you know, I think at the end it evens out, but it, like, from these HP totals, taking the tempo, it didn't do anything for them. It didn't even win the round. If they'd lost the round, it wouldn't have been that much worse. So, go in. My opponent took Supply Specialist. I took Supply Specialist. Johnny took Supply Specialist, but his opponent skipped and then took Wasp Form, which I think is incorrect. This one, we're just further developing that flanking position. I'm moving the Wasps. I've been moving them around with redeploy a lot, just to get them into annoying positions, basically forcing them to counter them. I think these Wraith range, big mistake. Johnny is, I believe, this round or next round or last round. No, last round he got flanked by Wasps, but then he overcorrected. Taking Wasp form when you've already deployed Wasps seems a massive throw on his opponent's side. And yeah, I do lose the flanking war here, but again, because the opponents aren't developing mid as much, Johnny's opponent's developing a little more. My opponent is fully focused on that flank. We're still going to get a win in mid, and we're still, looks like Johnny carried us a little more at that time. And he's going to come in. His opponent has been the one making more mistakes than my opponent. Come in, clean up. These guys are just having fun, by the way, so it's not like fucking stopper. And do a little more damage. But from now on, our opponents have taken tempo twice, and we're going to start racking up a supply advantage. Fire Badgers and Vulcans here. This is, I believe, a round where my opponent is going to develop that flanking position insanely, basically. A huge amount of focus on it. I'm still further entrenching that position as I need to, but you can start to see that flanking position is becoming more and more important, and it's kind of bad for my opponent because you don't get a lot of strategic depth. You don't get a lot of chances to put things. I have more chances to put things in front to mess with the targeting than he does. Take Fang's shield here. Not a great one. It literally is just I had a lot of extra money because I could counter his shit with low tier units, and so I do that and just save. Like, I don't need to take high tier units. I just take that early Fang shield. Why not? And, you know, the predictable happens again. Johnny goes mega into Stormcallers here. which you'll see later on, and he has EMP on them, which his opponent has been going into range, so that just purely nullifies that advantage. It's a little bit brutal. We're winning here mostly because of Johnny's side. I think I'd win my side in the end, but again, this mid sniper is just doing insane amounts of work. But you know, that could have resulted in a win and a 1v1 for this opponent. But really here, Johnny deploying that Stormcaller, the Stormcallers into an opponent that has no real way of countering, no easy way of countering them is what really does the damage this round, and that is a huge amount of damage. So now, all of a sudden, the game's looking like it's going to be short. We take orbital bombardments. I believe I deployed mine here first, and then Johnny deployed his. I think if we knock out this guy, because of this flanking position on my side is so dire, that we'll win. At this point, I deploy in such a way to take advantage of this lack of strategic depth. We start crediting, we start dropping the temporary upgrades, I start dropping missiles on the flank. This is a very interesting play from my opponent in the front. It actually wins. I don't think it's a good play going forwards, but it's certainly a strong play this round, and he needs to win that round. Going forwards, I could just put Chaff in front, and they'd just die to snipers. And then he'd have to deploy Chaff in front of that, and then we'd go on the normal countering. But this round, I focus on countering his flank. Johnny gets a War Factory deployed on him. Now, he has EMP, so if any of those hit, they'll cancel the War Factory's anti-missile, so it's not the greatest counter. However, Johnny just kills it with a multi. And this was the problem with his opponent's Chaff configuration. He just doesn't have the sauce. He never had Chaff in the beginning, and so eventually he had to waste late turns deploying Chaff, and it was not enough or good enough in the right places. I eventually knock out the flank and knock it out hard enough to, I believe, finally beat these fortresses. Though, again, this would be a close match if Johnny was not so dominant on this side against his opponent. And then we'll just go ahead and get the win. And then when we get the win, get some funny messages in the chat about gay collar players. But looking at the battlefield, if you look at this, I mean, sure, you can blame Stormcallers, but you gave up the chance. My opponent's Stormcallers didn't do jack shit. He sold off one of them. You get the chance to counter them early on. You pass that up. For no reason. It would have been fine. Those units would have been fine against Johnny. You pass that up for no reason, or to make this Wraith play that doesn't work out. It's very counterable. And then when the game ends, you complain about how the gay collar players and their lack of skill beat you. Very funny there. That's that. Well, that was Mechabellum. Hopefully that wasn't too bad of an announcement. I'll see you next time. Maybe with more of this, maybe more Dominions content. Who knows?